This has to be the most unserious Brock Purdy take on the entire internet. As you guys know, major media has a way of saying sometimes the dumbest things possible. And I'm surprised, even to this day, at some of the things that are said as like legitimate talking points and quote unquote analysis. No surprise that Colin Cowherd is at the forefront of these kinds of takes, and he's at it yet again. This time, basically describing why Brock Purdy takes a step behind Jalen Hurts in this interesting category, and it's about how he wears his hat. Yes, a grown man went on a nationally televised show to discuss how another man wears his hat. Take a listen right here.
One thing that does make me pause on San Francisco. So Jalen Hurts at the podium is the best podium quarterback in the league. Hat on forward, professional, almost manicured, got that CEO like a real grown-up. Brock Purdy. Hey, you guys want to hit some golf balls? You got a hat on backwards. He's not a franchise quarterback. I mean, come on. If that guy came to move your couch, you'd be like, are you a professional? I don't know. I'm telling you, it really bothers me. His dad needs to call him and say, turn that thing around. By the way, you guys say it doesn't matter. All right. I'm not saying you can't wear it backwards in the garage, playing Frisbee, but hacky sack, your baristas out there.
I find myself having to react to these types of videos, and at a certain point it's like I don't want to react to these videos anymore, but it's almost so blasphemous that I have to give my opinion on this. And this is what it comes down to. This is like the definition of an old man yelling at a cloud. Like, this is the most out of touch take you could possibly give. It's 2023. And we are talking about how a quarterback wears his hat at the podium. Like, give me a break, Colin. Like, that is really what you're going to go on your show. Like, your producers, your writers, you came up with talking points for your entire show. And this was one of like your, this is a good one. This will surely drum up the engagement. Hey, good job. Here I am biting. But it's just, the take in itself is ridiculous based on being a franchise quarterback, how you wear your hat at the podium. One guy's wearing his hat forward, one guy's wearing his hat backwards. What? Turn your hat around, young man. Show some respect. This is the most boomer take imaginable. Like, I'm sorry if you're a boomer as well. That's not a shot at you guys. But it's just the most, who cares? The things that people try to associate and evaluate, and the way people like, how is this allowed on TV? Like, who greenlighted that talking point? If their goal was to get people talking about it, good job, you won. But this is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, and I don't really care, like, about the comparison. I'm not even trying to compare Brock Purdy to Jalen Hurts, but to make that comparison, to go out of your way to show one quarterback with his hat backwards, the other with his hat forward, and this is why, da-da-da-da-da. Like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? This is the most unserious take I think I've ever heard. And that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. This is up there with the Mike Florio, Brock Purdy comments. It's the same thing. It's like, what are we talking about here? You're really associating some type of analysis based on an apparel of someone and how they wear their hat. That's what we're doing now. It's 2023. And we are associating Brock's name with Brock Purdy, and he's not the apparently a franchise quarterback because he wears his hat backwards. What are we doing? I need answers. I have opinions, but I'm also speechless at the same time that this is a real thing. Like, I don't know. Maybe this is a perfect example why independent content creation is so successful. Like maybe this is painting the picture of why many people are able to provide for themselves, earn a living as independent content creators because national media continues to say the most ridiculous things. Like, who is tuning in to a national program to hear the host analyze a presser between how they're wearing their hats and then having a hard take based on how they wear their hats? I don't know, man. Am I overreacting to this? I need you guys to help me process this situation. Am I overreacting? Am I being too, I don't know, the opposite of what I'm, projecting onto Colin? Is this crazy? Am I crazy for like looking at Mike Florio calling Brock Purdy uh that name because that's how he doesn't have a good quarterback name, so that's why he's not going to be a good quarterback. He wears his hat backwards, so he's not a franchise guy. Am I losing my mind, or do you agree? I want to know, genuinely. I want to know because I'm just really curious with the state of the national media. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to talk about, especially with this game coming up against the Eagles, the history within the last year. Like, if you want to talk about all the trash talk, sure, go for it. We've covered it on this channel. Um, we've reacted to it. We've gone back and forth, and obviously we're kind of in the camp where it's like we're just ready to play football. I'm tired of going back and forth about the talk, but we're talking about how the way someone wears his hat in 2023. Really? This is the most, in my opinion, the most. This just feels like this is a narcissistic take almost. Like, it's like, this is how I feel. This is how I was raised. So that's the expectation, instead of looking at it from the flip side of how this generation was raised, how the state of fashion, especially in the NFL, currently is, and how these players express themselves with jewelry, with high fashion. We've seen guys show up to games in ski masks. Like, obviously, the quarterback isn't showing up to the game in a ski mask, but it's just like, dude is literally at practice, going about his business. He's at work, and it's in the middle of the week, and we're talking about his hat. I don't know. You guys let me know. Am I crazy? Is he crazy? What are we talking about? I don't know. Should I even make reaction videos to this stuff anymore? Because I feel like I'm losing my mind when I see this stuff. You let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.